Hey everybody who is joining. So I figured I would just do a little live session today. Um, I have not got anything super exciting to show you today, but I am getting the car ready and my tools ready and everything like that for the next big trip that's coming up. I've talked about it. It's Classic Minis United. Hey Mark, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Um, and got my trailer here today and borrowing that from a friend. It's set up to carry a mini because he has one as well. And you know, it's just everything's coming together. Hey Jim, welcome. Let's see, Chris, I get up real early. I got up at 7 today, but it's different because I'm in the U.S. Jack, I did get that radio in the mini. I forgot to update. I forgot I didn't finish that in the last episode. I can show you guys that. It's cool. It's awesome. Let me let me show you guys. Whoops, flipping things around. Mark, do you like the Golf? It's awesome, isn't it? Quick little car. So, I don't have all of the wiring perfect yet, but it's coming together. But you can see there, whoop, that is the amp. It's mounted just directly underneath the seat. I've got a couple bolts holding it up there, and then I have most of the wiring tucked up underneath. And then the best part is my little control unit. Now, you might notice some collision there, and that's because I'm an idiot and I didn't measure twice before I did this. I only measured once, and by once I mean I just kind of winged it, hoped it would turn out all right. So it's awesome. I don't have my key out here, but this lights up blue. It's all Bluetooth, and it sounds incredible, incredible. I'm just totally blown away. So 100% recommend that. But check out my sweet trailer. My friend's super awesome fancy lock there. And then on the back I have, or he has I guess because it's not mine, cleat. And then I've got another cleat up front here on both sides. And then I have some chains that mount to where the tow bar normally would go. And then of course my fancy Tacoma that is going to be towing it. And Mini fits perfectly up there. So that's going to be, it's going to be pretty legit. So, sneak peek of the motor before I posted this on my Instagram earlier today. But I've got the head on. That's looking really good. And the lifters are in there. The, can't think of the word, push rods are in there. And the only thing left to do, I need to check, I've got a little camera coming in the mail that I'm going to stick into the, what are those things called? Spark plug holes. And I'm going to verify that those valves are not colliding with the block. And then I have my temporary valve cover there. So I am just so excited, you guys. Phil Moore, thank you. I did that myself years ago. It's not holding up to the test of time, but that's okay. Nothing's perfect. And sorry for the kind of bouncing around of the camera right now. I'm putting you guys on a tripod so I can work and answer your questions while I get all the tools I need. We just had a crazy serious storm here in Charlotte. Thought that the Mini was going to blow away. Is that? There we go. All right, so let's see, what are people saying? Killzone, love my Bluetooth radio, glad you like it, perfect sound, and no radio needed. That's actually my favorite part. It's super simple, but I just, I realized I don't really need a radio. It's just extra. it looks so much better without it. Jeep 2003, why not drive it? Couple reasons. I normally flat tow it. I have flat towed it behind my Golf, my GTI when I had that. But I don't drive it because I don't like driving it on really long trips, specifically because if I have to drive it back, and like the last time I took it on a long trip, I drove it about 4.5 hours down to Atlanta, Georgia, which is south from me in Charlotte. And on the way back, I got caught in the rain, really, really bad rain. And then the windshield wipers went out, and I just don't like being tied down to an unreliable car for a really long trip. Um, I'd like to have kind of a tow car that's something that I can trust, that I know is not going to break down. Otherwise, I mean, I drive the car all the time, so I know it's kind of like, well, I'm not driving it, so kind of a baby man or something. But what are you gonna do? Dave, hi Cole. My wife Laura is still working on the crochet mini. New baby has taken first place for now. That is totally cool. I get it. A good friend of mine just had a baby too, so it's just an adjustment. Is it your first baby? First new baby? Jeep 2003. Yeah, I mean, I've driven it. I'd say that at this point in my life, I am willing to drive it maybe 3 hours tops, 2.5. It's exhausting too. I mean, no power steering. You're that clutch and just like shifting all the time. Eh, eh. Phil Moore, you have just made up my mind. I was going to drive my 92 Cooper from London to Warsaw, where I live. Think I'll get it shipped. Yeah, I'm not sure what the distance relationally for that is, but it's just one of those things. That peace of mind's a lot. There's a lot to be said for some peace of mind. So, I'm putting together my toolkit right now. And I want to make sure that I have most of the tools. 900 miles? Good Lord. Yeah, I'd be shipping that, hands down. Dave B, second, he's fully cooked and ready at the end of July. Nice, very cool. So, putting together tools, I'm realizing that I'm missing a lot of tools that I thought I had, but as usual, I am going to be bringing a regular socket wrench. Ta-da, super fancy. Jason, I'm sorry I'll miss you too. I was looking forward to seeing you there, but there will always be the next one, which is going to be the big one. So if you were going to miss one, this is the one to miss, I guess. I don't know, I feel weird saying that. But 9/16 wrench with a ratchet, 1/2 inch with a ratchet, and then I've got a 10 millimeter. This is for my filters, and this is with a ratchet too. Just makes my whole life easier. So these three are very, very important. Then I bring my deep well sockets, which are going to be really nice. I've got metric and standard. There's really not that many metric things on this mini, but I bring them just in case. And of course, I'm missing my 1/2 inch, which is like the most important one. So I don't know where that went. Story of my life. Lucas C, hi Cole, what's your opinion about people doing engine swaps on minis like R1 and VTEC? I think they're awesome. I have nothing against them. I would actually probably do an R1 swap if it was a little bit more reliable for daily driving, but that chain drive with the like reverse is a little for me on a daily driver. But if it was a race car, no brainer. That thing's legit. VTEC, I've got a friend who's coming to the CMU event who has a VTEC Mini he's been working on for like 2 years, and he's going to be driving it. I'm so excited to see it. I'm hoping that he'll let me drive it, and if I do, I will bring you guys along so you can see that. Do not worry there. Killzone, minis are like sport bikes, blast to drive, but not on long trips. Yeah, when you're at those highway speeds, they're just screaming. The RPMs are always so high. I mean, even if you get like a bigger final drive gear, something that's more suited for the highway, it's still a Mini on the highway. Things are shaking, you know, the wheels are just, you're murdering those wheel bearings. So it just wasn't made to go that sustained speeds like that. Jason, definitely will plan to be at the next one. Just bought a giant bubble to keep my wife in until then. Yeah, I mean, really, you just got to put her in the bubble until for like the last 2 or 3 months right before the trip. Just make sure that nothing happens. Chris Ruffle, any ideas? My 84 Mini gets stuck in reverse, but only when I reverse up any sort of an incline. That's interesting. So the reverse gears, get stuck. I mean, it could be the additional load on it. I mean, at that angle, there is, what is it a pre, let me get my words here, my brain connected to my mouth. Is it a verto clutch system? That's my first question. Does it have CV? Does it have a CV drive shaft system? And I think that's all the questions I have for now. Rod change. Is it a rod change gearbox or is it a remote shift gearbox? That's what I was trying to ask. Couldn't think of it. Verto clutch. Okay. Rod change. Okay. So I had to do some rebuilding of the reverse gear on my Mini. It uses so I have a remote change, but I'm pretty sure that the rod changes also have a straight cut reverse gear. And I'm wondering if just with the incline, maybe there's some additional load being put on it. It seems a bit strange to me, but maybe the teeth are starting to get like kind of worn in some way. Although I feel like that might cause it to slip out, not to get stuck in it. That one has me stumped. I think I would have to kind of look at it and feel it and figure it out. That one's, nothing's coming to mind. Sorry. So, I don't know if you guys in the UK have Home Depots, but the other day I was leaving Home Depot after buying some stuff and I accidentally put this in the back of my truck. I was gonna bring it back up to the front, but I forgot and I ended up driving away with it. So, the tools for the Mini are going to be going into this Home Depot basket so I don't get them lost and I know which ones I have and I haven't. Hey Sig, hey man, I love you. I love you. Thanks for saying that. Lucas C, what's it like driving a Mini in the US with it being right-hand drive? It's a little weird at first. It can be a little tough making left turns on the road because you're on the right side, oncoming traffic is here. Well, that's mirrored in the video, but you can't see people as they're coming on when you make a left turn across traffic, so that can be a little annoying, but it's not too bad. Charles Ferguson, Minis are spicy. Yeah, that's I would say that's accurate. All right. A lot of noise. Not doing a lot of stuff making that noise though. So we all at the Mini events have a walkie-talkie and we're all on PA at the same time. So got my walkie-talkie, got my headset this time so I don't have to like hold this up to my mouth every time I want to say something. Got the charger for that. We have a ASDA amongst others, which is part of Walmart. Oh, okay. Yeah, Home Depot's like really focused on like home improvement stuff. I don't know if ASDA is that way too, but yeah. Let's see, what else? Oh, I have something to show you guys. I'm very excited about this. Amongst all the parts that I got from 7 Mini Parts, I teased that on the Instagram and Facebook channel, Instagram and Facebook a little recently. But as part of Operation Bad Wolf and all the parts and stuff that were getting upgraded on that, I have picked up a 123 distributor, all electronic distributor. I am deeply excited about putting this on the car. I'm hoping that this fixes up quite a few issues with it. got some rebuild kits, got new CV pot joints. I'm gonna make a conversion on my car. And then one thing that I'm very excited about is a new compact heater. This mounts upwards like this. This mounts to the back towards the firewall. And then this is a full-on compact heater for your classic Mini. Regular 12 volt plugs into where the old heater plugged in. And I'm hoping that this is up out of the way enough, but efficient enough. And specifically, I'm hoping that it's quiet enough because the ones I had in the past were really, really loud. Tebow Empus, what do you think about a 15-year-old that has a mini project? I think it's a perfect project for a 15-year-old. I think it's a perfect project for any age, personally, but I think that's going to be really great. You get to learn all about, kind of the way engines work and like kind of the older style engines, so you then have a better appreciation for what is in newer cars these days. And I think it's a great car to learn on if you're having, if you're thinking you might want to go into automotive or something like that. Put that back up there. You guys keep distracting me. I don't even know what was I doing? Oh yeah. As I've learned, I got my rubber mallet. And then I've been taught a new phrase today. I hope I'm saying this right, but I have my Birmingham screwdriver for when I have to kind of coax some stuff into place on the Mini if anything bad happens on the side of the road. Dave B, have you rebuilt your calipers, and how'd you find getting the metal dust seal ring in? I've bent 2 already. I've never rebuilt calipers. When I bought this car, it had drums on the front, and I converted it to discs on the front of the car. It still got drums in the back, but I bought a whole new hub caliper system from Minisport at the time, and it just went straight for replacement. Never looked back from there. So I don't know. Chris Ruffle says we don't say Birmingham, it's Birmingham screwdriver. Did I say it right? We've got Birmingham, Alabama here in the United States, so it's easy for us to mix up. Got my SU gaskets. Don't think there's too many other gaskets that I'm going to need to bring with me on this trip. Most of my gaskets are brand new. Let's go through these real quick. This is my small pile of gaskets that I always seem to have extras whenever I do jobs on this car. And I just gotta find the ones that fit for my car. I'll probably bring that one. What else do we have here? All right, that's probably enough. So I'm not really bringing anything fancy on my trip in terms of gaskets. I've got my SU flip bowl gaskets and then my intake manifold gaskets. Honestly, these have never gone bad. These ones here, I'm just gonna bring them just in case. And then my SU gaskets, those always go bad, and I'm going to replace them almost definitely before I go, and I'll probably have to replace them after I'm there. Dave B asks, do you take a range of hose clips? I wasn't planning on it, but now that you've asked that, I guess I probably will, actually. Got me another little baggie here, and my hose clamps are in one of these various things. I've definitely got hose clamps. You're just gonna have to trust me. They're somewhere in here. Got too much crap in here. No. Okay, I was pretty sure that I had hose clamps, but it looks like I don't. Oh, here they are. Hey, it's the one that actually said hose clamps on it, go figure. So I'll probably bring this big stupid one. That looks nice. And some of these other ones that are less big and stupid. Give me these. Chris Ruffle says, bring some WD-40. That will fix everything. That's true. Christopher Thomas, shopping basket. Good start. What have I missed? So I accidentally walked out of Home Depot with this basket the other day. So free product placement for Home Depot. You're welcome. And then I've just been putting together some parts and tools and things like that I'm going to be bringing on this trip. Mark says, say hi to my little girl Gracie. Hi Gracie. Hello. Thanks for watching the channel. Got some fuel line clamps. That should do it. There we go. Nice little set of hose clamps. That'll be a good set to bring. What else do we have here? Now, I probably will bring these electric connectors because they come in a cool little container, and I've got a truck. I've got so much space. And I'm going up here by myself. My wife is staying home. Driving for 4 days straight every day is not something that is super appealing to my wife, so she's like, you have a lot of fun on that trip. I'm gonna stay here. So I've got a whole back seat and a whole front seat that I can fill up with tools. I'm gonna bring these dumb Allen keys. I hate these things. Now, I am really hoping that I don't have to use this tool, but I am going to bring it. It's a ball joint splitter. If I have to use this tool, it will validate why I am towing the Mini up to the event over driving it myself, because any job that requires me to do that is going to be a pain in the butt. Lucas C, does your wife ever drive the Mini? She has driven it a few times. She does not enjoy it the same way I do, which is totally fair. You know, the Mini is not for everybody. You know, I think it's for a lot of people, but it's not for everybody. And but yes, she has driven it, and she likes it. Don't get me wrong. And shameless product plug, I'm gonna bring lots of stickers to the event. 7 mini parts. Thanks for sending me these. I will be bringing lots of Classic Mini DIY stickers as well. So if you're at the event, you can get free stickers. Just come see me, and I will give them to you while supplies last. Electric ratchet. Gonna bring this for sure. Adjustable wrench. Yep. What else, guys? Help me think of some stuff. What else should I bring? I've got a roof rack for the Mini. You think I should put that on there before the trip? I don't know. I'm not sure that I'd put anything on top of the rack if I brought it, so it just would be for show. I'm not really into that. Grease gun. It's up there. Have to get a ladder out to get it. But that does sound like a good idea. I can imagine making a huge mess with that one. I will bring that. I'm gonna put that in a bag though. I'm not ready to take that down. That will go in my truck in a trash bag day of the event. Fuel filter. I don't have an extra filter for my car. Thank you for reminding me I need to order one of those. I won't get it in time though if I order it today. So just gonna wing it. It's probably gonna be fine. Probably. What's the worst that could happen? Famous last words. test light. If you guys don't have one of these and you have to do any sort of electrical stuff, 100% recommend one of these. Totally worth it. Breaker bar, that's a good one. Where do I keep my breaker bar? It used to be up here. Maybe I broke my breaker bar. No. There it is. Yeah, there we go. More like a beat somebody up bar. That thing would be legit in a fight. Timing light, I think that one's okay. I'm sure somebody else will have one of those. I also don't have a timing light, so I can't bring that. Distributor cap, no extras there. I guess I could bring this new distributor. Maybe I'll just bring the whole new distributor just in case. And then if I have a problem with mine, the cap doesn't work or is there some other problem, then we can just change it out. I'm sure many people will love doing that. I think that probably covers all of the tools that are in this room that I will want to add. I think. Did I get any other messages? Fan belt or pair of tights? Pair of tights? Like pantyhose? Is that what you're talking about? Cool oil, coolant, antifreeze. That's a good one. Oh, that's in a big old bucket over here. If you guys haven't seen, I did a video on waterless coolant a little while back, and I still have some of that Evans coolant. I think this might be a company out of the UK. Maybe not, or it's called something different in the UK. But bringing that because I don't want to add water to my coolant system only to have to drain all that crap out. Huh. That's pretty cool. I didn't realize that you could do that. I know that you could use like a belt, like an actual waist belt, but I can't imagine. That'd be kind of a pain in the butt. I'm sure I have some stuff in this bucket down here that I want to bring. However, I'm not ready to put those parts in the Mini yet, so that will wait for right now. Christopher Thomas, how did the speakers turn out? My wife made me turn off before the end. So I didn't finish it that night, but it is finished now. And if you go back and watch this video that we're in right now, you can see that. I actually showed it on this video. I guess I should just show you again. Give me a second. Let me put this stuff away. Just in case others who were not in the video before, I can show you. Just gonna unscrew this. There we go. Let's do a little switcheroo here. Get on. There we go. All right. So Chris, it's all wired up back here, and it's mostly tucked away and cleaned up. You can see the amp is actually sitting mounted onto the bottom of that seat. And then on the front here is my favorite part, the whole little control pad, and that's wired all the way back. I've got this wired to the amp just for charging, but it's all Bluetooth. So I get in my car, I set my phone up here, and it's connected, it's running, it's amazing, it's perfect. King Cat, the trip is going to a place here nearby in the Smoky Mountains. It's called Bristol, Tennessee. Going to be hitting the mountain roads. Everyone in the group, it's a mini club that's all about driving. So naturally, throughout the trip, a lot of minis get killed and maimed as they break down, but we're all there to tow them back home, which is the admirable thing to do. So, if you are in that area, yeah, thanks, Chris. I watched the other day, but let me get a little closer. It's like yellow with pollen right now because, as you can see, we have a pollen problem. Killzone, your Mini is in a carport in a garage. Yes, that is correct. This is my super fancy carport. I'd love to turn it into a garage, but there are other things I want to spend the money on. Fergus the Fantastical Awesome Sauce. Hey man, thanks. Chris Ruffle, what's the worst modification you've seen on a Mini? The worst one, the first thing that comes to mind are like the eyelashes that go on the lights. I really don't like those, but I'm having trouble thinking of something. There was one Mini that sold. Now, this is my personal taste, just because the Mini is probably a great Mini. And if the viewer who owns this Mini is watching right now, please know that this is not a testament to your character, but there was a Florida Gators Classic Mini that went on sale here in the US recently, and it was, in my opinion, one of the tackiest looking Minis that I've ever seen. But that's just my 2 cents. King Cat, oh, sounds like fun. Sounds like my kind of trip. I love hitting the lanes near me, getting the back end out when I'm too spirited with it. Yeah, there's been a little bit of that over the trips, which is pretty cool. I'm also probably going to bring this exhaust. I'm going to try and sell it, and then if nobody picks it up, I don't know, maybe give it to a friend or something. That's the one that came off of my car. Bradley Crandon, hi Cole, how can I get rid of panel gap on the driver's door? So is your car a Mark 1 or later? Is it a Mark 1 Mini or is it a later Mini? Like, does it have these external hinges on it? Killzone, the next thing I want to do is get a GPS tracker for my car, but I don't want a monthly fee. Yeah, that's actually what's kept me from getting one up until now. Hey, just kidding, guys. I definitely have a GPS tracker. Don't steal my car. Chris Ruffle, do you get any shorty minis in the U.S.? Seem to see more and more about in the U.K. I haven't seen a lot of shorty minis. I've seen one in person. Brad, love the Mini. I'm currently 15 and restoring my 93 Rover Italian job for when I'm 17. My dad has had 12 Minis over the years, and we currently have 4 Minis in a mini van. That is awesome. What a wonderful car to learn on and get an experience in restoring and getting that back on the road. If you care to have it on the channel, I'd be happy to feature it. Bradley, 1991. So then you don't have external hinges like this. Those later models, as you can see here, my panel gap is not great either. It gets big and then even bigger, and then it gets small back down here. The later model Minis, I think you can actually adjust the hinges up a little bit. You can also adjust this kick plate right here. And now it's going to look different on your car, but on mine, this right here and this right here can be adjusted upwards. As you can see, mine's had some adjustment after it was painted, and this will help lock the door up a little bit higher. Luca, do you see many Clubmans or 1275 GTs in the US? Yeah, I would say that I see them probably 25% as much as I see regular Minis like this. But keep in mind, this is not a common car in the United States. You know, I'm talking like when I go to car shows and things like that, if you see 10 Minis, it's a lot. That's a lot of Minis in one car show. So Brad, the later model mini doors are slightly larger, aren't they? I they're not that much larger if they are. I don't really know for sure, but I don't think they're that much bigger. But yeah, what else do I have in the back here? I can actually transfer some of my tools to my sweet leather tool roll. Oh, I forgot I had this test light. Chris Ruffle, do you ever plan on coming to a mini show in the UK? I have defined plan because I desperately want to come to a show in the UK, but it's a hard sell to spend 15. Sorry about that. It's a hard sell to spend 1,500 bucks for a day or two show, so it'd have to be in like conjunction with a big Europe trip that I would be doing or something like that. All right, mount that back up. There we go. Okay. Christopher Thomas, is your wife throwing a party when you leave? She told me that she's gonna miss me, but I think that once she gets the house to herself, I think her tune might change a little bit, and she's gonna really enjoy having me out of the house. Um, everybody needs some like personal you time. You know. Killzone, how do you seal your boot from rain getting in? I've got like a shitty seal on mine right now because I've got a boot that's not a boot lid that's not meant for a Mark One on my Mark One. I don't think that if I had another boot lid, it would seal any better, but it works pretty good. It keeps like 75% of the water out, which is enough, really. All right. Where are all of my tools? They're all missing. So I don't know if I've showed you guys this, but if you have a HS2 or HS4 setup, you might know that getting the nuts on the bottom back of those manifolds is really difficult. Well, we have a super cool modified wrench here. You can see it's like worn down and everything. Same for this side. We actually angle grinded this down so that it would fit back there. Now, that metal is super thin, so if you torque it too hard, it'd probably fall apart, but works fine. King Cat says, quick question, what would you recommend for me changing my roof color, whoops, that slipped away, what would you recommend for me changing my roof color to Old English white, either a paint job or a wrap to keep the cost down? I like paint. Wraps are cool. They save you a little bit, but not really that much money. I mean, as far as I have seen, so I think paint's the way to go. Unless you are not totally certain that you want to keep that color, in which case I might waver on that a little bit and decide to go with a wrap instead, so that you could peel it off, I mean. Brad, I also need a new seal for mine. The boot floor of mine is smothered in hammerite to assist with rust prevention. Yeah, they do sell rubber seals for these things, and if your boot lid matches your body or your car, they sell like an improved seal that actually keeps it a lot better sealed in the back. It's just a matter of getting the right thing for the application. So, Dave B, are minis in short supply in the U.S.? I haven't been in the market to purchase a mini in a little while, but based on the prices of the ones selling on bringatrailer.com and the ones I've seen on like Mini Mania's classifieds and things like that, they might be. I mean, the Bring a Trailer ones are going for crazy amounts of money. I mean, like 30, 40, $50,000 for a mini. And I mean, some of them are good, but some of them are, I don't know, it's not bad, it's just not like super crazy rare or something, so maybe they are in short supply. Brad, you were saying that they weren't sold to the US market. They actually were sold in North America for a short period of time in the 60s, you could purchase a left-hand drive Mini. I forget the years, it was right around 1964. But there were quite a few Minis that were sold during that time period. And then in Canada, they were sold even longer. I don't know the years though. My Mini is actually a Canadian Mini. All right, now that I've put all the tools in the basket, I'm gonna take the tools back out of the basket and put it in this freaking cool leather roll that I got for all my tools. So I don't think I need to bring this big test slide. I've got a little one. Maybe I'll bring the big one. King Cat, they had those funky bumpers, didn't they? They didn't. They actually, so that was one of the things that brought them out of the US market, is they never really sold those weird ass bumpers on the ones in the US. Porsche did. I mean, you've seen those like weird rubber, like fist bumper things that they sold. Those things were garbage. I don't know why they did that. But I think they look really goofy. Brad, I think it had to do with the safety laws and that the height of the lights being too low. I don't know about the lights piece. I'm just not sure. It was related to safety a little bit. There was emissions issues as well. And then there was the height of the windows started to become an issue as well. But that's even an issue in modern cars. Phoenix Rubber Supplies in the UK sell an alternative boot seal that actually works. If you send me a link to that, I would love to see that rubber seal, and I'll put it in the description of this video after this uploads, after the live session's over. What was I thinking? Why'd I put all these small tools at the bottom? There we go. Now that all of your ears are bleeding, I'm sorry. Just weld it up, stops water getting in. Yeah, well, you're not technically wrong. And in my experience, being technically right is one of the best things. If you like people getting annoyed with you. But I don't know. I like being technically right, personally. Screwdriver. Forgot to put one of these in here. King Cat says, I think you'd have more of a chance of survival of bailing out when a collision in a Mini. Not sure that steering column tastes so nice. Yeah, I actually have been curious about that. You know, these Minis were built obviously before collapsible steering columns were a thing. And I wonder if the new columns, if you purchase them from like Mini Sport or 7 Mini Parts or, you know, wherever, and if they are collapsible, like the brand new ones, do they sell them collapsible now, or what? I feel like I would if I could. All right, there we go. Tool roll feels a lot better now that there's stuff in it. Man, I wish I could load up the Mini prior to going away, but I just don't feel comfortable, you know, like leaving the Mini on the trailer in my carport. It's like, hey, everybody, come steal my car. I have it ready for you on a trailer. All you have to do is bring a truck and throw it away. Whoa. All right. It's just that the engine gets so scared it wants to sit with you. That's too funny. Never heard it explained that way. That's really funny. Oh, have you guys seen my super cool job poster? Whoop, there we go. I did a Reddit Secret Santa, and they found out I posted that I had a YouTube channel, and then they found this really cool poster. I've never seen one of this Japanese, version of the Italian Job. I'm pretty sure that that's Michael Caine. It looks like him, but pretty unusual, which I thought was neat. And I mean, who is this girl with this plan on the back? There were no girls like this with plans on their back. I don't know. False advertising. King Cat says the OEM replacements aren't collapsible, but I've seen an all aluminum billet one that's fully adjustable and collapsible for way too much money. Really chunky too. Well, that's not surprising. All this like billet aluminum stuff, it's so cool, but it's like, oh yeah, by the way, it costs you a whole arm or a whole leg. What else can I bring? Electric screwdriver maybe. Yep, that's a good one. Oh, one thing that's coming up soon. This right here is an SU repair kit for HS2 carburetors. Pretty sure it's a dual carbs kit. Hope it's a dual carb kit. Probably should check that. Ooh, bulbs is a good one. That's a really good tip. Yeah, there we go. Look at those fancy, clean new parts. It's gonna look so good. I'm leaking fuel out the bottom of my out of my carburetor, so there's definitely a rebuild video coming up soon, and that will be when I take the motor out to do the CV swap. Put that back over there. Bulbs and tire inflator. I don't have a tire inflator. That would be a good one. Look at all these bulbs I've got. Man, it's so crazy how over the years you get like a surplus of mini parts. Chris Ruffle, do you ever watch Musty One videos? Nothing mini related, but he has great some mechanical advice. No, I've not heard of that before. See, I'm assuming he's on YouTube. I am a YouTube fiend. Got fuses, that's a good one. Check it out. My classic Bosch glass fuses, like plastic container with gold in it. Not gold, metal cover. Pretty neat. Standrew Warhola spare throttle cable. I have one of those. Spare wires, connectors, and maybe a relay or two. That's a good one. I can bring those wire reels right there. Let's see, what else do we have here? I could bring a little like, I think what you call them in overseas is plug boards. Basically this right here, except smaller. We call it power strip. I could bring one of those so I have stuff to charge all the batteries for all the various devices I have. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Right and left-handed screwdrivers? What? What does that mean, right and left-handed? King Cat says, bring the shed on a trailer if you can. Yeah. Well, I've got the trailer, so all I need to do is just build a little shed around it. That won't take me but a day, right? Chris says, be brave and have faith in British engineering. Just take the keys. That is, that's a bold move. I don't think I could do that. I don't have enough trust having owned this car for almost 10 years. It's only left me stranded like 7 times. Really not that many. Come on, engine. There we go. Let's see here. Sometimes the easiest for me is to look at this stuff and say, okay, maybe I need that and this and that and that and this. Actually, you know what? There isn't that much more that I think. Maybe a set of spark plugs would be good. That would be a good one to bring with me. But things are in pretty tidy shape as we, you know, mostly. I'm kind of thinking that I might like strip down the inside wheel, or not wheel wells, but the whole wings and everything, and respray all this stuff when I pull the motor out later in a couple months. Does anyone know if there's a specific float bowl, um, like top that I can get that has two nozzles on it? I'd really like one with a second nozzle so I can run my fuel into this and then run it out of this and over into the other carb. Ooh, SU for the carburetor. SU oil for the carburetor. That's a good one. Yeah. There we go. Cool. Brad asked, do you follow many mini clubs such as on Facebook? There's a group called Mad Old Minis with members all over the world. Tom with Total Car Review posts on there a lot. Yeah, I've actually posted a couple of times on that channel. Paul Jeffries, a guy who follows this channel, who I've talked to quite a bit about some exciting parts for this Mini, which I'm not going to share with you right now. Secrets for right now. And he has invited me to that chat. I'm on that one. I'm on a few other ones. Whoops, I forgot to switch the camera around. There we go. Yeah, I've talked to him. He's invited me to that one. I don't post online a lot. It's funny because I do YouTube videos, but generally I'm posting on there if I have really specific questions I'm not sure about. And then I'll try and sneak in sometimes and answer some questions for things that don't already have like a million questions answered on them. But you guys have any other questions you want to ask me while you have me live? Otherwise, I think I'm going to start wrapping up this video. Check it out. It's coming together, right? This is not going to be the finished valve cover that goes on there. Dave B says car wash stuff for when you're there. I won't actually have a lot of time to do car washes. The last few events that I've been to, the quickest I could do is like one of those do-it-yourself car washes where you drive into the bay. King Cat asks what the current status on the 7-port build is. Still getting money together, and then it's part sourcing time. So that campaign ended. The final day was at the beginning of April. I think it was the final like money raising time, and unfortunately, I didn't meet the goal that I was looking for to actually be able to accomplish the job financially. So I talked to the people who supported so I sent out a communication to the people who supported that build and asked them, hey, what do you want me to do with the money? Everyone was a resounding, hey, put it into another project on the channel. So that's what I'm doing. The project scope shifted, and I'm going to take the motor out that I have right now, do some like quality of life improvements to it, like a CV conversion from the U-joints. And then I'm going to focus very, very specifically on refining the motor and refining the Mini that I have already. Because I do have a 1293. I've got a 1293 with like enlarged valves. You know, I've got a lot of flow. I've got a nice dual carb setup. And, you know, I can make this motor, I can pull out a lot of power out of this motor as it sits now. So that's what the money's been refocused on with the approval of the people who supported the original 7-port build. So if you guys want to see that stuff, you know, the money that I did raise was quite a lot, but it definitely does not cover everything. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, Patreon is the best way to do that. It helps me in an ongoing way purchase parts and filming equipment, which, by the way, I've had to spend a lot of money on recently. Just so sick of those old microphones. Christopher Thomas says, are there any other countries you would like to move to? Yeah, I'm actually in the process of getting my Italian citizenship, Chris. So I'm learning Italian. I have family that came from Italy to the US in the past, and I'm almost done getting that paperwork. I have like 3 more birth certificates or something. I have to look at the list of stuff that I'm getting together right now. So long term, I would really like to move to Italy. Really, I would say within the next like 5 to 10 years. That would be amazing. And I would probably bring my Mini with me. Dan Nelson says, I've got a small problem. It's my Mini, low oil pressure when warm on low revs, low oil pressure when warm on low revs. Do you have any idea what it could be? Oil pressure release valve, maybe. It is a 1380 if that's any help. Yes, check that release valve. Even if it doesn't look like there's crap in that release valve, there might be. I had an oil pressure failure on my car that I had to rebuild the motor because of that stupid ass valve. And so 7 Mini Parts sells an adjustable valve, so you can put it on there and adjust the pressure. I am really happy with the one that's on my car, and definitely check that first. 100% check that first. If you don't find some debris in there, or maybe just when you take it out and put it back in, clean it up and everything, you might be able to knock that debris loose. That might help. I wouldn't say it should. It might help. Dave B says, check Aaron's spare wheel and associated stuff to change it. That's a good one. A lot of people forget about that spare tire. It sits back there underneath your boot board and just never gets touched. That's a good one. King Cat says, shoot, didn't get the memo. I was an early PayPal donator. Either way, I'm thrilled to see you revamp your motor. King Cat, yeah, that just hit me. I realized that I don't know that I communicated that to my PayPal donators, because I set up that Indiegogo afterwards. I didn't have their emails. Shoot. I need to go back through. I have some more stickers I need to send out, and potentially t-shirts as well, depending on the different contributions. So sorry. Let's see here. Kat also says, Italy, home of the beautiful Incinetti Coopers, the reddest of the red supercars. Yes, those Incinettis are pretty cool. They have some really interesting quirks about them, like the flat turn signals and like that dash. There's some pretty neat stuff about them. If I ever moved there, I would obviously have this Mini. This would come with me, but maybe I would get another one, Italian Mini. Brad says, speaking of Italy, the Mini Incinetti was rather nice, especially the doors with the quarter glass and recessed door handles. Yeah, those are really cool. Those and like the Australian Minis with the quarter windows that pop out. I can only imagine how nice that is in the summer. You should tilt them out a little bit to like scoop the air into the car. Oh, be like air conditioner. Dave B says, check brake test light is working, check brake fluid, check and check. Both of those have been checked on my car, so we are good to go for right now. But if they go bad, I will have bulbs as well, so that should be good. Make sure I didn't miss any comments here. Yeah, that's everybody. Cool. Well, we just hit an hour, 60 minutes and 4 seconds now. I think that I am going to wrap up this video. It was a nice talking with you guys, and hopefully I will be better about getting a live stream going earlier in the day. I don't know, what time do you guys think is the best time for UK viewers? That's always the hardest part to figure out with the kind of like cross around the world viewership. If you have leaking lights, don't forget to change your indicator fluid. Man, I thought we were going to get through this comment section without you guys telling me to change my blinker fluid. King Cat says, I'm guilty for not doing these pre-journey checks. My Mini is a daily, so I just assume she'll run fine. Yeah, that's basically me in a nutshell. So, well, I will catch you guys on the next live stream. I'm hoping that the 998 rebuild video will come out before the trip, and then at the trip, I have literally no idea what the rhythm of like getting it all published and everything will be like. So potentially you'll have a video every day. Realistically, maybe not. You know, the KOA, it's a campgrounds, and we'll see how good the Wi-Fi is for uploading videos. So fingers crossed. I will do my best to get those to you guys, but it may be that you get daily videos after the event. Who knows? Who knows? But anyways, have a good night, you guys. I'll catch you on the next one.